Hello and welcome to the Lunar Phoenix Path, where we use symbolism to help you turn embers into flame. Today, we're looking at when you know you can't stay where you are, but you don't know what's next, through the lens of fear of change. Let's see what wants to come forward. Get this out of the way. So the first thing we have is the Six of Swords. Sorry, I can talk. So transitions, leaving behind, moving on to calmer waters, distance, accepting lessons. So this is kind of the overall energy. I feel like you are ready for change, whatever your situation is, but you're afraid of the untraveled path that lies ahead. You may also be afraid of things you're going to have to leave behind. One, because they're familiar to you, and two, because not everything was bad. Now, some of you may be thinking otherwise, and your thoughts are certainly valid. But in the sense, what I mean is, yeah, there could have been some really good times, but if there weren't, you at least learned things along the way. You learned who you are. Like if you're an empath, a people pleaser sort of person, and you finally, I'm hearing Popeye's line of, and can't stand no more. The point is, you know who you are, but you had to, whatever this situation is, the choppy waters, you had to go through it to get where you are now and where you want to be. So that said, let's get some cards. And then one more. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, Queen of Cups. There we go. Compassionate, warmth, caring, intuition, healer, supportive, in the flow, and empathy. So there's the empath thing. Your intuition. So I always want you to lead with your intuition. Because sometimes that speaks louder than words. It will never steer you wrong. I feel like you've been suppressing your intuition for a long time now, in the sense of like keeping the peace is where I'm going with this. And you're done. You know what you want. The grass is greener on the other side. The light at the end of the tunnel. You want to see what's on the other side of the rainbow, sort of a deal. Whatever your situation is, you haven't been happy with it, and you want to move forward. Supportive. I feel like you've wanted support in something and you haven't been getting it. But in the sense of the term, your cup, you've been pouring into somebody else, something else, and you haven't seen a return. And now your cup is empty. So what you're looking for is being supported. Good things are flowing your way rather than away from you. I do feel like you're a compassionate and warm type of person. You do care about a lot of things, a lot of people. I'm hearing it's time for you now. So let's see what the second card says. Knight of Swords. Ambitious, fast-thinking, success-driven, assertive. She can read that. Direct, impatient, intellectual, daring, focused, and perfectionist. I feel you might be a perfectionist. So really some of you are. I'm hearing don't be. So this path less traveled, the unknown path is going to have twists and turns, and like you can't be a perfectionist. The beauty is in the imperfections. That said, be success driven, be assertive and direct. I'm hearing it can be as the transition can be, well, it says fast thinking, but it can be as fast as you want it to be, with some caveats. I mean, I know there are certain things that must rely on time and patience, but for the most part, so without naming names, I mean, there's a famous relationship coach that when I was going through my divorce, what I needed to hear, because I tend to hold on to things and beat a dead horse, kick a dead horse forever. And so he is very much about, if it doesn't suit you, then be absolutely relentless in just cutting away the dead, the dead weight. I feel like that's what you need to do here. It may not be pretty at first, but we're going to use the spring analogy because that's kind of where we're at right now, and things are starting to wake up. Things still look kind of dead. In the sense of like gardening, you need to remove all of the waste from last year, to clear a path, clear your way for the new growth this year. Yeah, that's the energy I want you to take with this. But yeah, don't be a perfectionist with this. Just be focused on what you want. And the last card, so Two of Swords. Difficult decisions, weighing up options, doubt and inner conflict, avoidance, hidden information, confusion, in between, 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You do have some difficult decisions ahead of you. Weighing up options. I feel like you've been doing this for a while. The doubt and inner conflict, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's time for you to make a decision. You need to be done with the in-between. I'm hearing no decision is a decision. It may not be the one that you want, but it is a decision. If you don't like what that decision is, then you need to make the steps needed. Be ambitious and fast thinking to get where you do want to go. The avoidance and hidden information. I'm feeling that once you start making these difficult decisions, whatever you're getting away from, assuming it's like a human, for example, they're not going to like it. They're going to contact you, try to pull you back into their world where you don't want to be. So in that sense, practice avoidance. Be ruthless in that. If you have to block them, block them. You know the peace that you want to have. You have every right to experience it. And those that do not see that need to just be removed. Period. Confusion. I figured I'm hearing that whatever tactics that they try that you're going to avoid will cause some confusion to begin with. Like if it's a relationship, they may try, you know, maybe they were in an affair, or they've lied to you one too many times. They'll promise that they'll do better next time, that they won't do it anymore. You know the verbiage. I'm hearing if they wanted to, they would have. People can change, don't get me wrong. But generally speaking, if you want to forgive the person, go ahead. But that doesn't mean you have to go back. Matter of fact, you know, I encourage forgiveness. Forgive them, but that doesn't mean you have to go back. I like that one. So we'll go with that. Okay, so let's see what the oracle cards have to say. And you. Okay. A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. So the new moon in Libra, for those of you that want timing, the new moon in Libra is October 10th of this year, so 2026. I feel like you need to take that with a grain of salt. That said, I mean, the new romantic cycle that begins around could happen around that time, but I feel not necessarily with a person other than you. It could be just you. Whatever shenanigans they pull here to try to pull you back in that you relentlessly cut out, I feel that by that point that you will be in a much better place. You will feel more like you. Yeah. I had an analogy in my head, but it's religious based, and so like for me, I know there's a lot of people that don't believe in God. That said, my background involves church, so based on that, I'm going for an overall feel, not necessarily preaching that you have to go to church and experience God. So we're going to say simply that whatever deity that you choose to worship, or not at all, there is a feeling that, like if you, we'll say meditation, whether it's prayer or otherwise, the feeling you get once you have finished, and like it's a sunny day out, It's a lighter feeling of the soul. I feel like that is where you want to be. And I think that is where you will at least mostly be, roughly about that time, or sooner. Maybe this is a true romance if you're willing to, get right back on the horse and try again. I feel like you want to experience peace and harmony in your life before you even attempt that. And that is okay. You do you, boo. You do you. Okay. And then one final oracle card. Embrace the dark. Shine your true light upon this earth. Okay. So I'm hearing 31 may mean something to someone. In a sense, 3 is like expression, creativity, communication, and joy. 1 is like initiation, leadership, independence, new beginnings. Numerology has you add the 3 and the 1 for a 4. So a 4 is structure, foundation, discipline, stability. I've also heard protection. Yeah. So I'm reading this and I have this image of like a ninja, be one with the shadows. I don't necessarily think that's the correct analogy, but that's the one that's in my head at the moment. I'm trying to figure out how to paraphrase it. I'm hearing that I know you don't want to be in the dark anymore. You know where you want to be. You want to be in the light. And you have a light that you want to experience and shine for you so you can shine for others. But you shouldn't really know or go anywhere without knowing where you've been. Think of kind of like a house with footings. Each house has footings, a structure, so to speak. It forms the basis of how everything turns out at the end. And I feel that's kind of where you need to go with this. Once you embrace that and figure out what your foundation is, you can build upon that, and then so you can shine the light on yourself and then shine your true light upon this earth towards other people. All right. So that's about it. Whatever is surfacing for you right now, let it clarify rather than consume. Take what resonates, leave the rest, and move forward in a way that best suits you. I'll see you next time.